Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I have a question for you. What could you do if you had more energy? What are the areas of life where you might feel like you're too stressed or you're more burnt out than you like and your energy is just not as pure and clean as you wish it would so that you could operate more cleanly, but you're more frazzled instead? Is it in your business? Is it in your relationships? Is it affecting your health in some way? Could you move faster in certain areas of life? Could you move more easily in certain areas of life with less friction in certain areas of life? Did things used to come easily to you and now things are kind of challenging and everything feels like a struggle, right? Here's the truth. With our stress levels, other people that might have less talent than us, other people that might be not as intelligent or not as smart as us, might be living our dream life. But it's not because they're better than us. It might be just because they have less things in the way of them getting there. And our energy is something internal that's invisible. This is why people don't talk about it. It's invisible, and that can block us from getting to where we want to go. If we don't have the energy to get to where we want to go, it's going to take so much more time and effort to get there, a lot more resources. So you could be way more resourced internally within yourself so that you can get to where you want to go way smoother, way faster, way easier, with less friction, more clarity, all of the things. Hey guys, my name is Andre, and I've been trying to optimize my performance for years in multiple areas of life. And the one thing I found is I didn't have the energy to do the things that I wanted to do because it was so constrained and bound and wound up in my body, not flowing, kind of like a traffic jam on a highway. And after years of research and experimenting and trying different modalities to get to where I want to go, I've packed it all into a program that I help my clients with, and also now that I share here with you guys. So yes, I'm walking on a treadmill right now, if you couldn't tell. It's just one thing I do to keep my energy flowing, because when I sit too long, I get antsy and I'm like, I gotta move. So anyway, this is something that I do just to keep my life flowing the way I want it to. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. So let's say you're in business. Are you tracking your ROI, right? You're probably tracking your revenue, how much money you're getting back from ad spend, or if you invested in something specifically, then your ROI or your cash on cash return, stuff like that. Are you tracking your workouts? Are you tracking your sleep? Are you tracking, what your macros are if you're dieting, right? When was the last time you actually measured, let's say, your energy, right? When was the last time you started pointing the magnifying glass on, where is my energy really going? And energy is it's a combination of your time and attention and any distractions that get in the way. A lot of high performers and high achievers, we think that we're fine because we're still operating, we're still getting results, but really internally, our nervous system and our internal operating system is just running on fumes, and it's just frazzled out, for lack of a better word, right? We're getting to the point where we're talking about things that you can't really talk about with words. You can't describe with words. And so something like we might feel frazzled, we might feel burnt out, we might feel stressed, or we might feel just right? These things get in our way if we bottle them up. So briefly, a little bit about my story. I had everything looking great on paper, right? Externally. I graduated from a top tier university in California. I was making good money right out of college. I shortly after that was a digital nomad, working remotely, traveling the world. My body looked fit. I was doing intense calisthenics moves, handstands, human flags, one-arm push-ups, all of the things. Externally, my life looked great. Internally, my body was falling apart. My body was falling apart. My mental side, my mental health, my psyche was falling apart and breaking down. I was insanely stressed, and I wasn't taking care of myself. And I didn't know that I was silently burning out inside because I just kept pushing, and I lived in this constant stress mode all the time. Needless to say, I didn't get to where I was trying to go. I was trying to start multiple businesses. Didn't work out. I was trying to get over a past breakup and start a new relationship. Neither of those worked. I was still just falling apart internally, right? There were all these things that kept me from actually making progress, because it's like you're driving a car, right? It's like, let's say you're in a Ferrari, right? Or a Lambo. Choose your dream car, right? And you've got one foot on the brake as hard as you can, and then you floor it at the same time. You're not going to go anywhere, right? You're going to burn the engine. The engine is running and it's screaming, but you're not actually moving. You're just burning out, literally. And that's what it's like internally as we operate in our life this way. It's like our body is holding us back, but we're still trying to push forward as much as we can. And so silent burnout has these types of symptoms, for lack of a better word, these types of lifestyle signs that we can look for, right? Maybe you're waking up tired even after 8 hours of sleep. Maybe you have brain fog all day and in meetings and at work, and you just don't have the energy to do the things that you need to do to be productive, whether that's in your work or in your business. Maybe you're snapping at people that you love or that you care about, not because they deserve it, but because you are kind of internally fried and frazzled and agitated on the inside. Or maybe you're not actually enjoying the success that you've built, right? If you have reached a certain level of status, and I know people like this, I have clients like this, and I've been like this too. You've reached a certain level of status and you're like, there's got to be something else. Like, I'm missing something. Something is just off. Something just doesn't feel right. When your energy is all blocked up, that's the bottleneck. And it's not going to allow you to be and operate your best self in the world because of the way it's kind of being held in via stress and all that stuff. So it's not that you're not good enough to do the things that you're trying to do. It's that you are unknowingly being held back by your own internal system. So to get past this state, it's an invisible problem we're trying to solve, right? To get past this invisible problem, we go towards things that we hear about online that might be a solution. One of the ones that we look at when we're like, okay, I want to, be more productive, I want to get more stuff done, is we look at productivity hacks. This can be things like taking a break every 20 minutes, every 2 hours, or using the Pomodoro technique, or changing your caffeine intake to be just at the right time so that it kicks in, or doing bulletproof coffee because that's the best way to go, right? Whatever these productivity hacks are, really just manage the situation. They are putting Band-Aids on the situation, not actually changing and rewiring at a deeper level so that you don't have to manage and deal with this anymore. Another huge one, a popular one, and hey, I started here too, is meditation. I think meditation is great if it's effective for you. The challenge is it's not effective for so many people. It's such a challenge because our minds are so noisy, so chatty, that focusing on just the breath is so challenging that it can take a year or years for us to get to a point where it's actually, we feel like we're doing something, right? Our nervous system is stuck in this overdrive mode, and it keeps us from being able to focus on something like the breath, for example. So meditation can be powerful if you're already practiced, but even if you are already practiced, there could be things you're missing. And again, I've had clients, I've worked with people that they say they've done meditation for years and there's another level they didn't know was possible because of looking into the blocked energy. A huge one, of course, that a lot of people try is things like therapy. I've done years of therapy. It can be helpful for the right things. It can be a waste of time if you have somebody who can't actually meet you where you're at, who doesn't really help you dig into, what you're trying to figure out, or doesn't help you actually do some rewiring. It can be so easy to just stay in the mental loops of the intellectualizing the past and talking about what happened rather than actually shifting things at a rewire level. I hope that makes sense. And here's what I'm getting at, right? You can't mindset hack your way out of a nervous system problem, right? You can't think your way out of a problem that's deeper than thought, if that makes sense. If the stuff that's running your thoughts is the issue in the first place, thinking about that isn't going to change it. I hope that makes sense. So there's a few things as far as the way this kind of like energy operating system works within our bodies, right? Energy is basically a combination of several things. We have physiological energy, right? It literally fuels our cells, our nervous system, our brain. Everything in our body runs on energy. When there's no more energy in your body, you're considered dead. When your heartbeat, whatever that thing is that's pumping your heart, that's making your heart beat, when that stops, you're done. It's not the heartbeat itself, it's the energy behind it, right? When we can measure with EMGs and EEGs, the electrical pulses of our heart and of our brain. And guess what? Once those are done, you're gone. So that's one type of energy. The next type of energy, I kind of think of it as like a liquid energy, like a fluid energy. It's our emotional energy, right? Stuff that flows through our body. It usually lasts, they say, like 90 seconds. And it comes out as some type of emotion, and then it kind of fades away. And so that's more of like a surge of energy, or it's just the fluid stuff that's flowing in our body. And sometimes you can feel it move, right? You can feel the lump in your throat. You can feel the overwhelm come up and then come out as tears. You can feel the rage and then have it come out as anger or screaming or yelling or whatever it is, right? That's the next kind of energy. And then the third one, and this is where so many of us are stuck, is the mental energy, the mental patterns, where we're just thinking and thinking and thinking, and our mind is just running and running and running. And that's where I lived for so long, even when I was in high school, even when I was in middle school, like as a younger child, right? As a teenager, I had so much of this mental energy just running up here all the time. And I was like, how do I stop this? How do I fall asleep? We get so rewarded in society for being intelligent, for being smart, which is all head related stuff, that is where our energy has gone. And so many of our stress loops are at that level of energy, and they become coded into the rest of the system because we spend so much time ingraining them. So if we want to unlock our power and have more energy to do more stuff, we need to not just unwire the loops, but start to unwire and unleash the energy that has been bound up because we've been in those loops. So for example, for me, I used to think repeatedly and ruminate repeatedly about things I said to people, or what my relationships were like with people, or what that girl that I think I like, what she thought of me. And I would ruminate and worry so much about the external interactions with other people. And I used to worry about what they thought about me, but not what they actually thought about me. It was what I thought they thought about me. So my mental energy was just churning and ruminating and worrying and going in loops and circles about something that maybe they're thinking about me, maybe they're not. It's all just made up in my head. And that was a pattern that once I was able to realize and start to work with that, then it showed me, okay, there's something deeper going on here that I can actually stop this from happening. And that type of work, it brings back the mental clarity, and it helps you focus more in relationships because you're not worried about that stuff anymore. And that helps you in your business because you just have more clarity from this world of relationships that used to consume me. And now I can focus on what actually matters and what I'm trying to accomplish, right? I've got a couple clients that also, they used to be the nice guy. And as they did more of the work, they started to let a lot of this stuff go, not just be aware of the patterns, but start to actually do the work to unwire those loops. It changes everything. It really changes everything. The way they interact with people changes. They have more confidence. They have more self-focus. They're able to say what they want to say because they're not worried. They're not concerned about other people's opinions anymore. And it gives you so much more energy to do the things you want to do in life when that's no longer running the show behind the scenes 24/7. So after doing a lot of this work, after you kind of make this progress, right? You can wake up every day clear-headed. How would that be? Like you wake up, you put your feet on the ground and just get up and go, and you're excited for what you're going to do today, right? You can feel more grounded in high pressure situations, right? A lot of us get antsy and anxious and frazzled and worked up when there's some type of situation at work, with our family, with our relationships, with our significant other, whatever. We get worked up because some type of event is happening and we think like, oh, it's going to kill me, or, oh, this really matters. And, there's so much pressure involved in this whole situation. But when you have a clearer state of mind and when you have a calmer flow of energy throughout your body, the pressure no longer makes you react. It no longer makes you react in a way where you feel like this pressure is a bad thing. And you can actually think more clearly and use the pressure to make a better change in a different direction, for example. It just doesn't affect you as much as it used to. You can come home, for example, after a day of work and be present with your family, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, with your spouse, right? You're no longer ruminating, just thinking about these mental loops in your head from work or from whatever, from what the boss said, what the client said, what the client didn't say. When's that invoice going to get paid, right? You can actually be in the moment with the people you care about and foster the relationships that actually matter in your life. And success that you've already built, it starts to feel good. Your success starts to feel like success. right? It's not about doing less things and losing your edge and becoming more complacent. It's about finally being free to achieve the things that we want without that drive destroying us, without having our foot on the brake, being able to operate more cleanly with less friction, more optimized to get to where we want to go. We're still going to where we want to go. We're just doing it with a lot less baggage and a lot less weight in the trunk trying to hold us back. So if you want to dive in and learn a little bit more, I've got a free quiz you can take. The link will be probably below somewhere around this video to start to help yourself self-analyze. I want to empower you to have the tools so that you can start to learn for yourself what's going on in your world. And that's the only way you're going to move forward, right? A level of this work is stuff that only you can do. I can show you the way, I can give you the tools, I can guide you, I can coach you, but only you can do this work. A lot of people look for answers from other people and hope that other people can solve them for them and do the work for them. There's a certain level that really only you can do it. So take a look at the quiz, wherever it is around this video. And if you're ready to dive in a little bit further, if you want to kind of tackle this head on and really start making big shifts in your life, then also look around this video for where there's a link to the MindWorks application. MindWorks is the MindWorks method that I teach my clients. It's something that is going to last you the rest of your life. And it's a toolkit, really. It's a lifelong toolkit for how to live in a way where we don't just undo a lot of this kind of blocked energy that we've talked about, but it helps you also prevent it from happening again in the future, if that makes sense. Honestly, one of the most powerful things that I've learned or ever put together. So it's not a question of, I want to leave you with this. It's not a question of whether or not you're successful in the things that you want to do, right? We're all trying to achieve new things all the time. Let's be honest, high achievers, we move the goalposts. We know we do. It's really about, do you have the energy to keep going? Do you have the energy to enjoy it in a calm state of mind rather than feeling frazzled and stressed every time you try to hit the next goal or you achieve something and then you still feel like it's not enough, right? What if you could actually enjoy life where you are now and where you're going? That's the goal. All right. So I'll leave you with that, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.